You're going to start lying down on your back. You're going to have your strap in your hand. Arms go straight up towards the ceiling. What we're going to do, knees are bent, bottom of the feet are on the ground, and we're just going to open and close the arms. Open and close. Just getting the back of the shoulders engaged and kind of the top of the shoulders. For 5, for 4. Now think about your ribs drawing away from the ceiling. You want to get the back of your ribs, the part that's closest to your spine, to press down and kind of fan out. And now pause when your arms are open. Good. Drop the sternum down, push the tailbone heavy into the mat, and then let's lift the hips up and lower the hips down. Your arms stay open. You lift the hips up, you lower the hips down. You lift the hips up, you lower the hips down. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift the hips up and hold. So those hips are lifted. Bring the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Draw that right arm above your head and then bring it back in line with your shoulder. So the right arm only is going above the head and the left arm is staying still. And feel how you have to pull, to keep the left arm still. You access underneath the shoulder by the armpit. So you want to keep that left arm actively working through all of this as well. For 3, for 2. And on this one, you're going to pause with that right arm reaching above the head. And you want to push out and feel the shoulder blades separate. Now we're going to straighten your left leg straight out in front of you. So left arm is towards the ceiling. Left leg is straight out in front of you. Right foot pushing into the ground. Right arm above your head. And you're holding here for 3, 2, 1. Place the foot down. Bring the right arm back up towards the ceiling. Lower the hips down. Active recovery. Inhale here. Exhale. Lift the hips back up. Now it's going to be left arm lifts above the head. And then you lower it back down. Lift that left arm up. And really feel how your shoulder blade starts to separate and draw down slightly. You got to create room in that shoulder joint for the movement of the humerus, your arm bone. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and on this one, you're going to keep that left arm above your head. Reestablish that connection into the core, into the glutes. Straighten your right leg straight out in front of you, and you're holding. Reach that left arm up. Push out of that left arm without raising the shoulder up into the ear, and you're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the right foot down on the ground. Reach the left arm towards the ceiling. Lower your hips down. Bring your right foot. You're going to place it in the strap. Bend your elbows down towards your side, making a 90-degree angle. That right foot's in the strap. And let's just lower and lift the leg. Lower down, lift up, lower down, lift up, and lift. Good. Now, as you're moving your leg, pay attention to the pelvis, pay attention to the spine. They should be in neutral and they should not be moving. It's just the femur moving within the hip. For 5, see if you can access your core here to stabilize a little bit deeper. 2, and on this one, you're going to pause with that leg hovering just off the mat, straight out in front of you. Now from here, your elbows are bent. Allow the strap to assist curling your head and shoulders off the mat. Now check in with your low back. Make sure you're not flattening out that pelvis. And we're holding here. Now open and close that right leg. Open the leg that's in the strap. Yep, it's hovering just off the mat. It's parallel to the ground. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1, and bring that leg back to center. Now, at any moment, if it gets too much into the neck, you can rest the head and shoulders, but bring the left leg to tabletop. So your strapped foot is straight out in front of you, and then you're going to bend the strapped leg into tabletop as you straighten the unstrapped leg and switch. Switch, switch, switch. Good. Now we're just doing this single leg kick with one leg in the strap. So you can really feel that pressure of having to push into the strap, getting your hip extensors to fire. Now see if you can get that left side without the strap to fire as much as you push forward. So you want to squeeze that left glute, activate, push out of the heels for 3, for 2, last 1, lower the head and shoulders. Switch what foot is in the strap. Place the right foot on the ground. Bend the elbows back down to the ground, and let's lower and lift the left leg. Right foot is resting on the ground, lowering and lifting the left leg. Lower and lift. Good. Now, check in with the pelvis. Make sure it's not moving as we're lifting and lowering the leg. Spine's in neutral. And on this one, let's pause with the leg hovering just off the mat. Curl the head and shoulders off the mat. Open and close the leg. Open and close. Open and close. We're going to just keep that right foot on the ground. Lower the leg down a little bit lower if you can, Marie. Yeah. Good, Susan. For 3, don't let that pelvis move. 2, now bring that leg back to center. We're going to do something a little different on this side. Bring the right leg to tabletop. Straighten the right leg towards the ceiling. And scissor kick, scissor kick, scissor kick. So the legs stay straight. Remember, you can rest the head and shoulders or curl it up if you want to work the upper abdominal section of flexion. Switch, 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 switch. For 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Bend both legs into tabletop. Place both feet in the straps. Turn your palms to face your body so that the strap is coming out of the thumb side of your hand. And then you're just going to bring your heels down onto the mat and then lower your head and shoulders down. And now lift your hips up into a bridge. You want the strap underneath your feet. Your elbows are going to be bent. Now we're going to reach the arms above the head. Then lower them back down. Reach the arms above the head. Lower back down. Reach up. And as you reach up, you should feel that press from underneath the armpits. You press up. You lower down. Press up. Lower down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, press the arms above the head and hold. Your palms should be facing the ceiling. You're going to open your arms out to the side, bring the arms back above the head. Open and close. Now listen to your body. If your shoulders starting to feel off at all, you just make the movement smaller and maybe give yourself a little bit less tension in your strap. For 5, meaning you'll grab closer to the ears of the strap. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lower your hips down. Bring your arms down to your side, getting rid of the tension in the strap. Flex your feet, straighten your legs out in front of you, making sure the strap is still underneath your feet. And you're going to take an inhale here. Exhale, we're going to curl up just to the head and shoulders are coming off the mat. The tips of the shoulder blades are just off the mat. Let's bend and straighten the elbows. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Good. So we're doing bicep curls again. Bend and straighten. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and you're going to pause with your elbows bent, making that 90-degree angle. Now from here, you lift your elbows up and towards your eyes. The eyes of your elbow, meaning where that flexion happens, are going towards the eyes of your face. And you keep that 90-degree angle the whole time. This is shoulder flexion, working the biceps again, but we're really focusing on the upper portion of the biceps, doing this shoulder flexion for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause with your elbows down in line with your body. And from here, keep them bent. See if you can roll all the way up. Roll forward. Flex your feet. You're pushing out of your heels. Now just build your spine up tall. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. Then you're going to start to pull your arms behind you. Your spine is straight, but you're forward flexed in the hips. So neutral spine, forward flexed hips. For just pulling back. Good. Shoulders push down away from the ears. So if you have to open your arms out to about a 45-degree angle, that's fine to keep your knuckles off the ground. For 4, for 3, for 2, pull back and hold. Let's bend and straighten the elbows. Elbow extension, bend and straighten, bend and straighten, bend and straighten. For 5, 4, 3, 2, Pause with the arms straight. Now, as you circle your arms forward, you circle the arms forward, you stack your spine up tall. Once your arms come straight out in front of you, you roll back into your C curve just to the bottom of your spine. Your sacrum is on the mat. None of your spine is, just the sacrum. And then you're going to hold here. Good. Now bend and straighten your elbows. Bicep curls again. Bend and straighten. Now, if you want to get more support for your back, you can either grab that ball or you grab lower on the strap. For what we're about to do, you want to keep your spine still. Tilt your pubic bone to flatten out your low back. And now as you bend your elbows, you're going to bend your legs to tabletop. And then you straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Good. For 5, 4. Good, Marie. 3, 2. Last one. Pause with the knees bent, elbows bent. Good, Susan. Tilt that pubic bone more as long as it doesn't get into your low back. Now see if you can start to rock into a ball. Rolling into a ball to come up onto your sit bones. Place your heels down. Lower your arms down, round the shoulders forward and back. Okay, we're going to have the ears of the strap going through the pinky side of your hand again. And you're sitting up tall. Flex your feet, push out of your heels. Roll back into that C curve again. Rolling back into your C curve. Now, you're just going to bend your right arm in and rotate to the right. Then straighten that arm out, rotate back to center. Bend the right arm in and rotate. We're just doing the right side. Rotate as you bend in. Rotate as you bend in. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and on this one, you're going to hold. You pull that right arm in. Now, the left leg, we're rotated to the right. Bring your left leg to tabletop. Good. Now you want to keep that heel in line with the knee, so don't let it drop towards the sit bone. You want it towards tabletop. Tilt the pubic bone and roll back a little bit deeper if you can. Hold for 3, 2. Now straighten the left leg out, bend it back in. Straighten the leg out, bend it back in. Straighten and bend for 4, 3, 2, 1, and place that left foot in. Rotate back to center, straighten the arms, roll forward. Get a stretch for the hamstrings. Just let go of the strap for a second. Bend your right leg in towards your chest. Flex the foot of the left leg, so you're pushing out of the heel. Now, if this ever gets too tight in the hips, you're just going to open up the hips and bring your hands behind you. But let's lift and lower that left leg. You want to sit up, so straight back. Try not to round the upper back. Marie, yep, there you go. Good, Susan. Good, Navua. You can always, if you want a little bit of support, you can wrap that left foot in the strap. And that's going to give you more support so your hip flexor doesn't have to work, or it doesn't have to pinch as hard. Now we're going to hold on this one. Lift the leg up and hold. Now point the foot. Flex the foot. Point the foot. Flex the foot. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. For 3, 2, 1, and flex the foot and hold. Let's paint 5 circles each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg, lower it down so it's hovering just off the mat. Straighten the arms straight out in front of you. Keep that left leg as still as you can. Get rid of the ball if it's behind you, and let's roll down, roll down, roll down. Push out of that hip. You're floating that left leg, and just feel how your hip flexor is now open. Bend the left knee. Place the bottom of the foot on the ground. Lift your hips back up into a plank, and really squeeze the glutes. Get a hip flexor stretch. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now take your right leg, straighten your right leg straight out in front of you, and you're holding here. Really push down into that left heel to get a hip flexor stretch on the left side. holding. Now let's lift and lower the right leg. You lower it down, you lift it up. Lower and lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold when the knees are side by side. You bend that right knee, place the foot on the ground, lower the hips down. Straighten both your legs straight back out in front of you. Flex and push out of the feet. Reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Draw your shoulder blades down. Roll your spine all the way back up. Grab your straps. They should be really close to your feet. Wrap your feet again. And now let's roll back into that C curve and hold. Now it's going to be bend the left arm in and rotate to the left. Rotate back to center. Left arm in and rotate to the left. Center. Good. So we're just doing that other side. Pull in and rotate. Susan, tilt your pubic bone more and see if you can come up a little bit and put the ball behind your back more. So come up a little bit. Yeah, get it lower. That's going to give you a little bit more pressure and support, but you can still access the core in the rotation. For 5, for 4, 3, 2, and on this one, you're going to pause. Rotated. Now you're going to bend your right leg into tabletop. Straighten it back out. Bend the right leg in. That left side of your body is rotated. Left elbow is bent in. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1, and straighten that right leg back into the strap. Rotate back to center. Roll all the way up. Stack your spine up. Bend your left knee, place it on the ground, place the foot on the ground, flex the right foot, lift and hold. We're holding that right leg up. Good, just hanging out here. Now really get that idea of pushing out of the heel, trying to get that knee as straight as possible. Remember, if it starts to pinch in the hip, you can always open up or grab the strap and wrap around the foot. Now point the foot and flex the foot. Point the foot, flex the foot. Point and flex. Point and flex. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex the foot and hold. Draw your shoulders down. See if you can sit up a little bit taller. Let's paint 5 circles each direction. 5, 4. Good, Marie. Good, Navua. 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg floating just off the mat. If you have the ball behind your back, you get rid of that ball. Reach your arms forward. Roll down. If you have that strap, you can let go of that strap. Lying flat. That right leg is still floating. It didn't really move through that roll down. And feel how that hip is open. Bend the knee. Place the bottom of the foot on the ground. Lift the hips back up. Hold with those hips lifted. Holding here. Now we're going to take that left leg and you're going to straighten it straight out in front of you. Left leg. So you're really pushing down into that right heel, pushing down into the ground. Left leg is pushing forward and you're holding here. Now let's lift and lower the left leg. Lift it up, lower it down. Lift up, lower down. Lift up, lower down. For 3, 2, 1. Bend that left knee. Place the foot down on the ground. Lower your hips down. As you lower them down, do a pelvic tilt so that your low back is flat. Bring the hands behind the head to support the neck. Curl your head and shoulders off the mat. Bring your right leg to tabletop. Then your left leg to tabletop. Straighten your right leg forward. Left leg stays still. Left knee is directly over the hip. Try not to pull it in past the hip. Yeah. And switch. Switch, switch, switch. So we're just doing single leg kicks for 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. Now we're going to add rotation. Right arm comes towards left knee when it comes into tabletop, and then switch. You want to think about rotating through the torso. One half of the ribs comes off. The rotation side comes off. The other side stays down. For 5, 5. Good. 4, 4, 3, Susan, kick your feet a little bit higher when they bend into tabletop. 2, 1, 1, and pause with both legs in tabletop. Place one foot down, then the other foot down. Straighten the legs straight out in front of you. Lower your head and shoulders to rest for a second. Just send your knees side to side. Now just turn and lie on your side so that you can still see the camera. Both legs are going to be straight. You're reaching out. Now lift both legs up. Both legs up. Now make sure your hips don't roll back. You want your hips stacked up on top of each other. Now reach your top arm above you, bringing a little bit of a lift. So really the only thing touching the ground is your pelvis and maybe your shoulder, but your ribs are off, both legs are off. And now let's go ahead and we're going to do egg beaters. You cross one foot in front of the other. The bottom foot comes in front of the top, and so you're alternating. Back and forth, back and forth. For 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Both legs are up and holding. Now instead of crossing, you kick one foot forward, one foot back, and switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. For 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. Pause with that bottom leg kicked forward. Bend the knee. Place that foot on the ground. Bring the top leg so it's in line with the hip. Let's paint 5 circles here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend both legs into tabletop. Place the knees down on top of each other. They're at a 90-degree angle in front of you. And now let's clamshell. Rotate the knee up, then back down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. For 4, 3, 2, and on this one, pause with the knee straight up towards the ceiling. Now, we're lifting the ankle in line with the knee, then drop the ankle down. The ankle lifts up in line with the knee, then back down. So you go to parallel, then back to that external rotation for 3, 2, pause with the leg in parallel. Now lift the heel up towards the ceiling. Rotate back to parallel. Lift up, lower down, lift and lower, lift and lower. For 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to pause with that heel, lift it. So we have internal rotation here. Your heel is above your knee, your knees rotate towards the ground. Now, what you're going to do is you straighten the knee out. You're still internally rotated. Then bend the knee. Straighten the knee in internal rotation. And we're affecting the hamstring and the hip in a different way here. Keep that internal rotation. Isometric hold of the internal rotation and knee flexion and extension. We're actually working the outside of the hamstring a little bit harder. For 4, for 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee. Rotate the leg back to parallel. Lower the knees back down. Now you're going to hug the knees in towards your chest as you roll onto your back. Towards your chest. Let your head rest if you need to. Now, place your hands behind your knees. Draw the shoulder blades down. Press your knees into your hands to help curl you up. The heels of your feet are in line with your knees and you're curled up. Now we're going to straighten the legs out in front of you as you straighten the arms above you. Circle the arms as you bend the legs in. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Circle the arms as you bend in. Straighten, circle, bend in. Straighten, circle, bend in. Good. Now, you can rest your head and shoulders when you straighten your arms above you, or you can keep them up in a contraction, or you can rest your head and shoulders the whole time. For 3, now we're going to go into obliques. After this one, you straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Bend your legs into tabletop. Bring both of your arms to the outside of the left leg, then to the outside of the right leg. Left, right. Good. So we're just alternating sides. Up, up. Good. Up. For 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. Listen to your body. If you need to take a break, please do. 1, 1. Lower everything back down. Rest those hips down for a second. Send the knees side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to turn and lie on your other side. So you lie down. And opposite side is towards the ceiling. Both legs are straight. And float them both up. They're stacked on top of each other. Lift the ribs by doing a bit of a side bend. So now your ribs are off the mat. You're resting. Both legs are off. And now we're going to do egg beaters. You just beat across one ankle in front of the other. And switch, 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 switch. For 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, and hold. Both legs are stacked on top of each other. Send your top leg forward, bottom leg back, and switch. That's 1, 2, 2. So scissor kicks. 3. Now, if you need to roll onto your glute a little bit more because of the way your shape of your hip is, because if you're on your femur, it kind of hurts. So if you need to roll back onto your glutes, that is fine. For 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Kick your top leg forward and hold. Bend that knee, place that foot down. Bring your top leg, bend that knee, place the top foot leg on top of the bottom leg. They're both bent into a tabletop position. Now external rotation, clamshell. Rotate up, back down, up and down. Now find that hip lift, that rib lift again. The external rotation is the femur moving in the pelvis. We lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause with that knee, rotate it up towards the ceiling. Now, knee stays still in space. Lift the heel in line with the knee, drop the heel down. Lift the heel up, drop the heel down. It doesn't lift past the knee. We're not doing any internal rotation yet. We're just doing internal rotation to neutral. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause when your leg is parallel. Knee stays still in space. Rotate the heel towards the ceiling, then back to parallel. Good. The knee doesn't move in space. It just, the femur rotates inward, internally. Good. Good. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2. And on this one, you're going to pause with that internal rotation. The heel is towards the ceiling. Now straighten your leg. Bend the knee. Straighten the knee. Bend the knee. Knee doesn't move in space. We're just doing knee flexion and extension. And you're in internal rotation of the hip. Good. Good, Susan, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at that knee bent. Rotate back to parallel. Lower the legs down. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Roll onto your back. We're going to straighten both legs straight up towards the ceiling. Curl the head and shoulders off the mat. Draw the shoulder blades down. Find the stability of the neck by engaging the shoulders. Drop your left leg down towards the ground. Right leg straight up. Now the legs move together. As one leg lowers, the other one lifts. Good. And switch. Now you can either keep the hands behind the knees, alternating, or bring the hands behind the head to support the neck. Good. And it's a switch. Good. Switch. 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 For 5, 5, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1. Pause with that left leg up towards the ceiling. Right leg is straightened out in front of you. You can always bend that right knee and rest it on the ground if you need. Right armpit towards left knee 10 times. 10, 9. Again, it's just that. Right side of the body comes up and then lowers back down for 4, for 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Left arm towards right leg. Right leg is straight up towards the ceiling as you're just rotating up. Up. We're working both sides, working our obliques, working our rectus abdominis for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend both legs into tabletop. Lower the head and shoulders and rest. Good. Send those knees side to side. Now, if you have a ball, go ahead and grab it, and you're going to place it in between the knees. The ball is going to be in between the knees, and we're just going to squeeze that ball 10 times. 10. Now, if you don't have a ball and you have a ring, you can do this with the ring, or just grab a pillow, a long pillow that you can activate, just something to activate those inner thighs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze that ball and hold. Now we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Squeeze that ball again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze that ball and hold. Straighten the right leg straight out in front of you. And as that leg is straight out in front, squeeze that ball even more. Feel the inner thigh connection to help stabilize the hips for 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that foot back down. Engage the ball again. Squeeze. Straighten the left leg straight out in front of you and hold. Really squeezing into the ball. Squeeze as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that foot down. Lower the head and shoulders. Lower the hips down. Grab the ball. Ball goes straight up towards the ceiling. Straighten your legs out. Draw your shoulder blades down. Squeeze the ball with your hands and roll all the way up. Stack up tall. So now what we're going to do, you're going to bend your knees a little bit. You're going to place the ball kind of in your middle of your back, right in between your shoulder blades. And then you lower everything down so that the ball is just in between your shoulder blades, a little bit lower, Marie, on your spine. No, sorry, to have the ball go lower. Yeah. Susan, that looks good. Okay, so from here, we're going to get some extension. You support the neck. You keep your spine in neutral. Let your spine extend over the ball. If your head can touch the ground, that's fine. But then find your sternum. Draw your sternum down to curl yourself up. Good. So if you need to adjust on the ball, that's fine. But we're going from flexion of the spine curling up in this crunch to extension. So we're just getting more range of motion. Find the stability of the pelvis and get that this is just rib movement. Sternum draws down to pull the ribs down towards the pelvis, and then you extend the spine up. Curl up, lower down. Crunch, back down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and on this one, we're going to crunch up and hold. Really draw the shoulder blades down. Get that pressure pushing the spine into the ball. Bring your right leg to tabletop. Bring your left leg to tabletop. Straighten both legs up towards the ceiling. Now flatten out your low back. Push your low back into the mat. Now we're going to lower the legs down as low as feels comfortable for you, and then lift them back up. Lower the legs down as low as feels comfortable for you, then lift back up. So we're in this supported flexion, but it's hard, for 5, for 4, 3, 2, last one. Bend your legs into tabletop. Place one foot down, then the other foot down. Then you're just going to roll off the ball. Shake it all out. Let's go ahead and find your strap. We're going to grab your strap. What we're going to do is place the strap in front of you and on the ground. You're going to place your right foot in the strap. Tuck the toes of the left foot behind you. And then you're going to Have your palms facing the ceiling. So then from here, you notice that the left knee is underneath the left hip, right knee is above the right ankle. We're just gonna go halfway up and pause. Okay, now if this ever is too much for the knee, you are gonna just straighten that back knee. The important thing is keeping that front knee over that front ankle. We're holding here. Now let's bend the elbows to a 90-degree angle and hold. Push the arms forward and hold. Open the arms out to the side, bring them back to center. Bend the elbows in, lower down. Now we're gonna do that twice. Bend the elbows once, lower back down. Bend the elbows a second time, lower back to a 90-degree angle. Push forward, come back in. Push forward and hold. Open the arms once, close the arms once. Open the arms for two, close the arms for two, bend the elbows in, lower down. Now 3 times, bend and straighten the elbows. 1, 2, 3, lower to a 90-degree angle. Push forward, bring them back in. Push forward, back in. Push forward and hold. Listen to your body. If you need to straighten that back knee, that's fine. Now open the arms out to the side, bring them back to center. Open and close. Open and close. Bend the elbows in, lower down, and with control, let's lower that knee back down. Whew. Lots of stability work for the pelvis. Shake it all out. Before we do the other leg, you're just going to place that strap on the ground. You're in this all fours position. Look down the nose, roll your spine down so your hands come to the ground. Walk your hands out to an all fours position. Your shoulders are above your wrists. Now, if you need to, you can drop down to your forearms, but you're going to just extend your left leg back behind you, then your right leg, and you're holding in this plank. Now, find the separation of the shoulder blades, push into the pinky side of the hand. We're holding this plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your left knee in, bend your right knee in, press back into that child's pose, stack up tall. Round the shoulders forward and back. Now, that strap is going to come back down on the ground in front of us. We're going to bring the opposite foot forward. Left foot comes forward and rests in the strap. Now, your hands, we're going to be working the back line of the arms. So your pinkies should be at the top of the strap. The ear of the strap should be going through the pinky side of your hand. Good, Susan. Good. Okay, now from here, listen to your body if you need to. Straighten that back leg at any point. Keep the front knee over the front ankle. Come up to a 90-degree angle and hold. So double 90 degrees, or you can straighten that back leg. Now from here, arms are straight. Hinge forward slightly. Pull the arms behind you and hold. Bend the elbows. Straighten the elbows. Open the arms out to the side. Bring the arm into the side. Lower the arm down. Now we're going to do that twice. Pull back 2 times. 1. Hold behind you. Bend the elbows once. Straighten the elbows. Bend the elbows twice. Straighten the elbows. Now open the arms and close. Open and close. Lower the arms down. Now 3 times. Pull back 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Bend the elbow, then straighten the elbow. Bend, then straighten. Bend, then straighten. Open and close 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Bring the arms down, lower the arms down. Last one, 4 times, pull back. 1, 2, 3. Hold the arms behind you. Bend and straighten the elbows 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Keep the arms straight back behind you. Open and close the arms 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower the arms down. Bring your spine upright and then lower your knees back down to the ground. Nicely done. Bring the knees side by side. Let the strap go. Come back down to your all fours position. Now, we are going to be doing side planks, so there's going to be a rotation of the spine. You always want to listen to your body. If you need to rest down on the knees, please do. Let's go ahead and go down to your forearms. Everyone's going to be on their forearms. And then you're going to straighten your legs straight back behind you. Both legs are straight. You're in your plank. Now, at any point, you can always drop down to your knees, but keep those hips lifted. Now, rotate onto your left arm or your right arm. It doesn't matter because we're going to do both sides. And reach that opposite arm towards the ceiling. You want to keep the hips lifted. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. We're holding here. Now, take that top arm. You're going to thread it underneath your body and rotate the spine. And then back up. And then as you thread it, think if you can get a little bit of a lift, piking those hips up towards the ceiling. You thread and pike. Back to center. Thread and pike. Back to center. 2 more. 1. You can always do this on your knee as well. 2. And rotate back to your forearm plank. If you need to do an active recovery, you just push back into your child's pose, rest for a second, and then come back in. Just listen to your body with whatever you need. And you're holding that plank. Now rotate. Opposite side goes towards the ceiling. Reach that arm up towards the ceiling. Listen to your body. If you need to rest that knee down, please do. Now we're going to thread, rotate, and pike. Rotate back to center. Thread, rotate, pike. Rotate back to center. Thread, rotate, pike. Center, 3 more. 3. 2. Last 1. Now rotate onto your forearms for this last little plank hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower your knees down, press into your child's pose, rest for a second. Fantastic job, everybody. It's a long little series to do at the end. Then from this position, we're just going to lie on your stomachs to get some extension work. After all that flexion that we've done, you're on your stomach. Your forehead can be resting on the ground, but you're going to draw your shoulder blades down or your chin, whichever is most comfortable for you. Draw your shoulder blades down. Press your heart forward to lift your head and chest up. And then lower everything back down. Press your heart forward to lift the head and chest up. Lower back down. 3 more. Lift the head, lift the chest. Lower back down. Now, on this one, lift the head, lift the chest as high as you can and hold. Draw your shoulder blades down and then start to press into your hands to come all the way up. Or just come up as high as feels comfortable for you. Then lower back down. We're going to do that 1 more time. You're going to lift your head, lift your chest as high as feels comfortable for you. Then press into your hands to come all the way up. And then lower down with control. Tuck your toes. Press yourself back into a child's pose. Come to an all-fours position. Round the spine up. Extend the spine back. Round the spine up. Extend the spine back. Shake it all out. And happy Monday, y'all. We are done.